with the media as well. Oh, yes. I'm going to give you a intro on it.
Russ.
Here's hope for you, man. Well, yeah, your business is not that. How are you? I'm good. But from my perspective, that's how it's left a couple of messages for you on the fire pit.
Okay. I was going to say.
Okay. Well, it was last week that I left that. No, I did. Yeah. I did return the call.
Mayor Foster?
How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. I present you with the Torch of Life.
Well, and I thank you for that. So I understand that it's the 10th anniversary since it's been blessed by the Pope.
Almost.
Almost. We're going to go. We'll go with that.
Yeah, it's September 5th actually.
And you're 2 weeks into this?
Day 14, yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
And 3 days to go.
3 days ago.
So that's great. Well, congratulations. Thank you. We've got Councillor Hooper over here, who's hiding in the background. I understand we've got Bill C-605. That's to help with sickle cell and
that's correct.
thalassemia. Did I get that?
Yes,
get that right?
that's
okay.
perfect.
So you know what? For your efforts. Congratulations, thank you. I'm not sure that we've passed anything in town here, and I think that we probably should. There's also some provincial motions that have been approved as well. So,
if I may elaborate on that?
Please.
What we're doing it step by step is lending our torch, our famous torch, and our charity to help bring comprehensive care for sickle cell. And what we're urging everyone to do is to support MP Kirsty Duncan's bill, C-605, which was tabled at Parliament Hill in the middle of December. And what we're also urging the mayors and the councillors and the municipalities to do is to give your MP a little nudge to support it, as well as your MPP, because Mayor Dennis Staples from Smith Falls is going to be bringing sickle cell to your Roma conference later on this month, as well as the London conference, to recruit all the mayors and hopefully have a sit down with Deborah Matthews, the health minister, to maybe develop a provincial care before the federal people do. And so we feel that the mayors and the councillors and the municipalities are the soul of the community, and they have the most pull. So by hopefully recruiting you and yourself, we can get the ball rolling on this and make this happen.
Yeah, well, you know what, I wonder if Councillor Hooper might be coming forward with a motion. We'll put him on the spot.
Well, I'll definitely make that.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
on the spot.
At some point, and with Ron, it's not on the spot at all.
No,
so you need us
a little closer. Okay.
And I'll try not to set you. I'll try not to set you on fire with the torch.
He always wants us closer. He gets angry at me afterwards.
No, this is great. Well, and thank you, and again for the effort that you've done. So we will.
Put your hand on that together, up
sure.
We'll certainly come forward with something to encourage, the local MP, and we can talk to our MPP and the area municipalities as well. And for coming to Clarington and stopping here.
Oh, no.
I'm glad you did it on such a warm day.
Yeah, I guess I went through the worst of it. It's all downhill.
Yeah, last week was.
It was a tough day. Even if I may say so myself, I've done this many times over the years, and it was a tough one.
Wow.
Sure. Okay, appreciate that. Okay, do we have a cup here, guys? While they're getting prepared. The other thing that we're saying is that we're looking right now at sickle cell as the brunt of the litter. Just like every other good cause had to fight its way to get a so-called nipple. The runt has to fight. And that's sickle cell right now. And over the last 15 years, it's just gotten nowhere. It hasn't been recognized as a legitimate disease. And basically, what we're hoping is that when it does get when comprehensive care does get passed, what'll happen is people will, suffering with sickle cell disease, will have care and treatment and be able to carry such things as bracelets, or Donnie's got a diabetic because he's a diabetic. If something should happen to him, you know, someone could read his, and then bring him to a proper place to give him care. That doesn't exist for sickle cell right now, so that's part of the comprehensive care package.
You got Councillor Wu as well, so.
Councillor Wu, thank you for coming out here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
We just need one more and we can.
Yeah. Well, did you want me to light the torch?
In here, if you want to get national news, we can do that.
When you put it out, the smoke detector go off.
Yeah, how about those firefighters?
Well, we have a couple stories then.
Oh, you do. But sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, that's
I
okay.
imagine they're happy to see you.
We welcome you here, because if a motion does come about, we're going to need your vote.
Sure.
Could you stay close to them so that we won't?
I didn't get a.
Good thing.
Now, I would have only imagined you want me to run with the torch through town or something like that?
Not today. We were going to surprise you with that, but we could have made it, but we're going to just take a little bit of mercy today.
Well, I'll take my coat off.
Thank you, gentlemen. The more the merrier, always. And if you stay in tight, it always will show no gaps.
Advertising on it, there better not be cut.
Now, Rod, you can
Actually,
stop
they had
there.
their show.
No, but that advertising.
It was West Michael jump on the second.
Don't want to get myself in trouble.
And
That's why we want
that's,
you to stop.
this torch has actually been carried throughout most of the world already. Wow. Millions of kids. The mission of this torch, by the way, is after the Pope blessed it almost 10 years ago, he also, besides saying that organ and tissue donation was a genuine act of love, he also said to let the kids carry the torch, because they're going to inspire the work of the world. And that's what we've been doing the last 10 years on our campaign, step by step, is letting kids carry it through their communities. We had one young boy that carried it across the country. You might remember him 7 years ago, Christopher Knowles, Christopher's Wish. He was in need of a liver transplant. And he had a beeper with him carrying this torch through 200 cities and towns across Canada on a year-long campaign. And he was the one that actually was the Pied Piper that recruited hundreds of thousands of kids, not only here but in the States, because that's where our next venture came.
Well, and the need, whether it's for this or the need is so great. A number of people don't fill out their organ donation cards, and not a tough thing to do. And sickle cell, you're right, we don't hear about it.
No, you don't.
So reading it probably from your website, what is it, 5% of the population has the genetic predisposition?
Yes, that's correct. So that means that at any point in time, if there isn't education and awareness brought to the public, it can get out of hand, and this is preventable.
Yeah.
So we need the tools, we need the resources, and we need this comprehensive care passed, to prevent that from happening. We don't even know the numbers yet, because there hasn't been any resources available or funds available to do the research. So the numbers could be astronomical. But once we have the comprehensive care set up, then people know they have a place to go and get tested, or to go, and then the numbers can get registered, just like we know how many diabetics are in Canada. We know,
How expensive or hard is the testing?
it's not that hard. It's just a blood test, actually. Just once they do that, then because we got computer files, it'll make it easier to absorb into the medical system. And so if we had this, and that's part of what this comprehensive bill asks us for, is to evaluate the situation. Before you implement what's needed, evaluate the situation run across the country. And see what's needed, and then you can calculate the, how much it's going to cost, and to do the proper caring for it. And I'll just add one more thing. The relationship between the torch and what we do in sickle cell is that people suffering with sickle cell disease can have their lives saved through a bone marrow transplant, which a lot of people don't know either. So we're bringing that to light as well. It's relatively new. The first one was actually done at Sick Kids a couple of years ago. And so now it's becoming more aware, but we're still noticing in Canada, Canada doesn't have sickle cell as one of the illnesses listed on their registry, bone marrow registries, that can be saved. And that's got to change, you know, because doctors that are treating, you know, kids or adults that have sickle cell, that have the potential of getting their life saved through a bone marrow transplant, their doctor can't search the registry because they're not listening, you know. So we're trying to make this an international thing as well, so that all the countries in the world could start adding sickle cell in their bone marrow registry as well. And as a result of that, we can encourage more people to be registered.
Well, I see this being written down, you know, by the press. So you just made great strides in that right away.
It looks like she didn't miss a beat.
So, no,
She's got 2 beats to miss.
No, that's great. So, you know, and again, for you know, raising the awareness of it. So certainly I've learned stuff today, and just by virtue of you being here, you know, to look up as to what you're doing. Great cause.
Something that also might run across your mind is it's a black disease. And why is a white guy doing this? Basically, the other thing that we're trying to promote here, I see no color, and nobody else in Canada should as well. So we're trying to break any stereotyping or any, you know, how we look at things. So maybe by having a white guy do it, you know, kind of, and that's what the Pope said too. He said, you know, we have to tackle all our issues by bringing all the faiths and cultures together to tackle these issues. So despite, you know, all that stuff.
Well, and as our societies are becoming more, you know, diverse or less diverse, I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for. Some of these issues are going to be more prevalent, and you're right. And I suspect sickle cell, especially here, because of that. I'm going to guess that it's developing nations, and they're the ones least capable of tracking that. So, no, that's a good point.
That's correct. So, and that needs to be said as well. That needs to be because once, you know, we start gelling together that way, then everything else becomes more easier.
Yes. Yes. No, that's great.
So I'd like you saw again one interracial marriages and the sickle cell, that particular predisposition transfers over.
Exactly. So you just the affliction, you know.
You know, if disease spreads.
Exactly. Disease is disease. Afterwards, it doesn't care what color or where you come from.
Well, that's great. Well, again, thank you. Just really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great.
Now, just for your information, I know you were talking about organ and tissue donor awareness, and every New Year's Day we have a polar bear swim. But part of the cause is to promote organ and tissue donor awareness.
I never knew that.
Yeah, here in Clarington, and the mayor leads the way.
The theory is they freeze us immediately.
It's almost like what you enjoy.
I see. Now that's a nice way of addressing the critical shortage.
You got tissues on ice.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe we can bring that up to the Roma conference to get more of the mayors to do it.
I think that was the theory. And as much as he says the mayor leads the way, you know, Councillor Wu has done it. I went in and got in. He was doing laps, so.
Well, good for you.
I was the.
Yeah. You were the important guy. Where's my coat?
If you don't mind, Mayor, if you have any pictures of that or any stuff.
Pictures.
No, because in our mission, like we're going throughout the world meeting mayors. I like to show all the mayors of the world what the Bowman
throw the challenge. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Whether I mind or not, I've got a feeling that Councillor Wu's going to get it.
He's going to say, let's develop a motion, let's, okay, yeah, perfect. Your cards or any?
Oh, you know what, yes, I actually went, there weren't any downstairs, which I rectified.
And you guys gave him some literature here already?
Yep, we've got the literature here.
No, Jennifer, you helped out. The Pope said, no, do that. I mean, and the Pope blessed us.
Blessed it, he blessed it, he actually.
So there you go.
Yep. And as well as many other religious leaders afterwards, like and before.
It's not a microphone.
I'm thinking it's Valentine's Day, so carrying a torch is just entirely.
Can you bring up the mayor's office and light it?
No, I don't think so. Let's do that.
Just don't light it.
You want to?
Well, wait, there's lots of paper on my desk that if you accidentally touched it too, you could
It'd be okay. That's neat, it's still warm.
So, are we good with the meter? Do you guys need more?
A little more.
Okay.
I'm gonna scoot over there. So you-
I guess we do that.
We'll, you know, we have land council, so we can.
Yeah, oh, welcome. No, it's not.
No, not yet. So we're hoping that should.
You separately.
No, it's okay.
We'll,
I'm not holding a tape recorder. Well, actually, it doesn't matter.
we'll do that. We'll take care of that.
Thank you, sir.
It's great seeing you.
What's your name?
George, first name, Marcello is Marcello. Toronto.
I did bring a bunch downstairs for,
You don't have the disease yourself, do you?
No, that's why I had to mention that one wise guy isn't afflicted with this disease, and he's even white doing this, is because the same way the passion that I have for organ and tissue donation, I have the same passion because I see my father.
Double check it, and they
it
are.
always ends up.
So George, E-E-O-R-G.
GE. Yeah, and our website is stepbystep.ca. I'm hoping you can get your, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. We'll keep in touch. I'll email everybody, everything.
Yeah, and we'll email you those pictures.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Jason has some with a mirror and high heels. So, I don't know if you want those ones.
Separate event.
That's a different story.
You didn't like those too.
Now that's inspiring.
Don't comment.
Do you know when the latest for your show? Yeah, you know about that anymore. Can I just double check the spelling of your
Sure,
last name?
absolutely. CELLO. Are you guys from the same papers?
We are, yeah.
Oh, does
But
anybody have a card? By any chance?
I don't. Do you have one on you? I can give you my info.
Oh, okay,
I'll
good,
write it
good,
out
good.
and tear it off.
Thanks.
So sorry, this is your, are you ready?
Yep. George, you're gonna stay right there?
Okay.
Okay. I want you to move.
So, exactly how you got involved in this?
Sure. About 5 months ago, my chairperson, Constable Ojo Tiobati, approached me and said that, you know, we have to put sickle cell on the map. For almost 2 decades now, they've been trying to get their disease recognized, and they haven't been successful. So he asked me if we can lend our charity, which is Step by Step, and this famous torch to bring more profile to this disease. And what I did was I organized a 17-day run from Ottawa to Queen's Park. Actually, we started at Parliament Hill, and it was very symbolic to start at Parliament Hill because a bill got tabled there just a few weeks before. It's Bill C-605 by Kirsty Duncan, MP Kirsty Duncan tabled that bill. And in that bill, it provides comprehensive care for sickle cell. So we're hoping if that gets passed, if that bill gets passed, then as a result of that bill getting passed, comprehensive care will come to Canadians, and it'll cover 95% of all the issues right now. So that's what we're kind of hoping, that bill's going to pass as a result of this run. We're hoping that that can spark the enthusiasm, the passion, we can inspire people, and we can get this bill passed. And you know, it's been a long run, even though it's just 17 days, because it actually turned from a run to a walk to a hobble. I twisted my knee, as you can see, I'm carrying this cane right now, and I twisted my knee on the second day, and I've had to use this cane hobbling along, and we've never missed a beat or a step or a schedule. We've you know, been able to still make it despite that last week of terrible cold, and you know, we somehow made it. I have an awesome road team, Shane Gentles and also Don Moreland over here, they've been watching my back and filming at the same time. So you got to watch for their documentary. It's going to be a very inspiring tool to educate Canadians, and they'll probably show you how crazy I was out on that road at the same time. We're hoping on February 17th, Mayor Ford is going to recover from his, he's got a kidney stone. Yeah, and he said he's going to be there with a big smile, on the final steps. And so we get his endorsement along with other MPPs and MPs. There's going to be a lot of cheering to do by people that are suffering with sickle cell disease.
Now, why did you personally get involved in this?
Personally, I'll make it right to the point. I see no color. I know that kids, adults have been suffering with this. I don't know anybody personally, and I don't have no relatives or anything like that. But I've seen the suffering. I've seen the suffering, and I've seen that they don't have no care whatsoever. And to see that in our country, in our great country, these new Canadians that don't have no care, I think it's something that any Canadian would do, despite what color you are, and because I don't see no color. I see people suffering, and I see no way how to hopefully make a spark to make their lives a little bit better. So that's really why I did it. And this torch, when the Pope blessed it, he said, bring this torch wherever you can, because it'll bring hope and it'll inspire people. He opened up a lot of doors for us. So by bringing this torch, we're hoping that we're going to open up a lot of doors for sickle cell.
Sickle cell is something we hear about in the United States quite a bit. We see a lot of ads on TV promoting it. Why not in Canada?
Because they haven't gotten to the level of having Canadians recognize how serious this is. And that's why I mentioned that it's like the runt of the litter. Just like any other disease that had to fight at the beginning, it's the runt right now. We got to fight. We got to fight to get recognition. We got to fight to get people's attention. We got to fight to make them understand. You just can't have it come to you. You have to go out and get it, and that's what we're doing. We're fighting like a runt to get a nip. And hopefully one day we will, and nobody needs to ever die or suffer as much as they're suffering right now.
What's the ultimate hope that you have at the end of this run? Run, walk, hobble, whatever it's going to end up by the time you get to Queen's Park.
I'm really hoping that we're going to that C605 will get passed, or that a speedier passage will be done by the province of Ontario to develop a similar bill.
Perfect. Thank you.
So was the torch blessed specifically for sickle cell, or was it
No, for
donation?
organ and tissue donations.
Okay.
And the relation that is with sickle cell is that people that are suffering with sickle cell can have their lives saved through a bone marrow transplant. So when we say organ and tissue donation, that's a tissue.
Okay.
There's 6 or 8 organs, vital organs, that could be transplanted. There's over 50 tissues. So there's a lot of others that fall in that bracket, like leukemia, and other disorders. Yeah, and if you heard, they're coming up with a lot more tissue transplants. Like besides eyesight, that was always there, bones and all that. They're coming out with a lot of other life-saving transplants, but also restoring people's lives. To make their lives a lot more better.
And were you involved in like organ transplant or tissue transplant?
I was a liver
That's
transplant recipient.
No,
I am.
I don't know where they
Yeah.
buy them.
I see.
Yeah, I actually twice, and so that's another reason why
New York.
I'm doing all this. It's it's part of my way of paying it forward.
Try to
Yeah.
I was given a gift,
just type in
so
D&H.
now I'm paying it forward.
Yeah, no, they have.
One day, I'm hoping
I'm not sure where they got
that
theirs, but.
we have enough organ donors to meet the demand, and as well as we get enough people to register on the bone marrow registry, because there's only about 15 million right now registered worldwide, and that's a small amount compared to that we have 4 billion people.
Taxes all the way.
So, if we can increase that number, like maybe to 100
I
million,
know they've got them.
there'd probably be enough bone marrow
Yeah,
transplants
yeah.
for
You know, I was
people,
thinking the same
you know,
thing.
that need it, and matches could be made and lives could be saved.
They've got different types.
Okay.
They've got different types.
And you've been doing this by yourself?
14 years
14 years you've been
doing these treks.
fundraising for...
Yeah, like I've gotten 7 campaigns behind me. The last one was called SOS the Americas. We took the torch from Alaska. We had kids relay it from Alaska, and we were supposed to reach Argentina in 2 years, going through 36 countries.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to turn back when I got to Washington because the bank was taking my house.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever had to leave one of my campaigns.
Right.
But during that time, we had like literally tens of thousands of kids that got involved, not only in Canada but in the States, you know. And we were now I'm hoping to get back to Washington to start our 8th campaign, SOS the World, where I'm hoping to bring this torch through 200 countries.
So what else are you doing on this?
Well, with the torch, like I'm doing this right now.
Yes, but what else do you do normally?
I bring this, the mission of this torch.
Like normally, what's your job? Like what do you
It's,
do?
well, I used to be a fitness trainer, but
Okay.
now I'm at this full time. Like,
Okay.
I'm the CEO of Step by Step, a charity. And you know, since I received the liver transplant, you can see all that on my Step by Step site,
Okay.
if you need any footage
Sure,
or anything.
yep.
Since I received the liver transplant, and you know, I wanted just to give back. And also when the Pope blessed this torch, he set me off on a mission.
When did he do that and why?
On September 5th, 2001, I was doing something similar back then, except I was going across the country. It was a 12,000 kilometer trek. And halfway into my trek,
Kilometer run for?
organ and tissue donations. And then halfway into my campaign, I got a call from the Pope, well, the Pope's secretary, asking me to come to Rome, because he was watching my campaign as I was going from community to community. And he asked me to bring the torch, and I brought it. He blessed it at Vatican City, and when he blessed it, he said, pass the torch to the children. They will inspire the world. For the last 9 years, that's what I've been doing. Millions of kids have carried this torch throughout Europe, Canada, and northeastern United States. But I plan to get back to Washington.
So tomorrow you're in Ottawa?
Tomorrow I'm in Oshawa. Wednesday I'm in Pickton, and the final days in Toronto.
And how is this run compared to others? Has it been harder or
Thursday?
easier?
Thursday's the final day. This has been tough.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, this has been a tough one on me. I don't know. I mean, maybe this will be the last one I can do. Maybe that's what it's telling me.
Yeah.
But I've done similar ones before. You know, much longer. I've gone through 2 winters in one of the. You know.
What's made this one so tough?
I don't know. Well, I didn't train properly for one thing, and yeah, my knee went out, my back went out, you know, and so it seems harder on the road for some reason, but you know, again, I got lots of good music, and the music keeps me going. I got First Nations music.
Okay.
Yeah, so I listen to that, and it gets me somehow going. It puts something into me.
So you're looking forward to being done then? You're looking forward to getting to Toronto and having a rest?
Well, sort of, but then I know I got to get back out on the road again. I got to get back to Washington. I got to continue this torch to go around the world. I have to do that. I have to find a way to do that.
That's perfect. Is there anything else you want to make sure I get?
Unless these guys have something to add.
No, he's a diehard. His determination is like outstanding. He just focuses and just goes.
If you wouldn't mind adding, because they're going to be producing a documentary, they're going to be producing a documentary, just to keep an eye on our website, because that's where we're going to do all the updates for their documentary.
And that's step by step?
Stepbystep.ca. Yeah.
You're from Toronto?
Yes, I am.
Sorry, I never got your email address, so I can send.
Oh, sure, it's G Marcello, but it's better to get my website, because it's right on top of the website.
Oh, okay.
It's stepbystep.ca.
Okay,
Yeah, and you'll see my email right there as soon as you open the website.
okay, great. No, I wanted to make sure that we were able to get that information out to you.
Yep,
And let you know what's happening with, as we go forward.
as you go forward, yeah, that's what we're doing with all the stops, that we're keeping everybody in the loop. We got one big family now.
Okay, great, thank you.
Are you gonna be in Toronto at the Roma?
Pardon?
Are you gonna be in Toronto at the Roma
Roma
conference?
conference?
Maybe,
The football
maybe,
party.
I can't say for
We'll
sure.
probably see you there if you
If
want.
you are, yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry to interrupt, Jen.
Oh, that's
Sorry to
okay, I was
interrupt.
done.
No, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Great.
So is there more about this on the website as well?
Yeah, there's tons. I got 5,000 videos there. You can see the Pope, if you want to get a picture of the Pope. You can get it there, or I can send it to you by email.
No, we'll try, we'll get
Okay,
a shot of it on the
Okay.
website, so that'll work.
Perfect, thank you.
all right, so we're just off to the hotel right now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pass the torch, and then I gotta get back out on the road here to continue to Oshawa.
That's not till tomorrow, though, right? You taking the
No,
rest
that's
of the day
this
off?
afternoon.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I
Good
gotta
luck.
get back on.